Hey, what is happening, you hard of here and herdier? Today, taking a look at Flaaffy Box, specifically Joel Suryati's list that they used to take second place at Brisbane Regionals just over a week ago. I only made about one change to the list when I was playing it the other day on the stream, and I'll go over that when we take a look at the list. And overall, I think Flaaffy Box is actually in a pretty solid spot in the format. The tough matchup, of course, is the Lost Box matchup. Stabilize a lot to deal with, but it's not unwinnable, and the other two top decks in the format, the Lugia and the Mew, I feel like you actually boast favorable matchups against, so I think overall the deck is actually super solid right now in the current meta, as long as Lost Box doesn't get too much more popular. Still pretty popular. Like I said, it's tough, but not unwinnable. Let's go ahead and let's take a look at the list. I'll break down all of the attackers we got in this box, and then we'll get into some gameplay. So we're using Flaaffy with the Dynamotor to accelerate lightning energy onto our bench Pokemon, and there's quite a few different Pokemon we put onto our bench to set up to use as attackers. We got two Snorlax in here with the Unfazed Fat and the Thumping Snore for 180 damage, and then Flip 2 coins. If either of them is tails, you stay asleep, but usually our Snorlax is getting KO'd, but we're being able to swing for 180 damage is a pretty big deal. That's a lot of damage. Can set up some pretty clean 2-hit KOs on pretty much anything in the format. And if we go up against, I don't know, like any other weird one-prize Pokemon like a Charizard or something, it's really our only way to one-hit KO something like a Radiant Charizard. A couple Snorlax in here. Crobat for some consistency. This is a card I've considered cutting, maybe for just like another draw supporter, because you hate putting it in play, but I have used it a couple times at the end of games to close out games to like find a last minute gust effect, stuff like that. So Crobat's in here still. The one change I did make to this list is I cut the Escape Rope and I added in the Drapion V, because the Mew matchup was feeling pretty tough. It was definitely winnable without Drapion, but also with the increase in Mewtwo V Union in the format, which is actually unbeatable for this deck. If they set up the Mewtwo V Union, we literally just can't win. We don't do enough damage to ever get through the amount of healing they can do with the Super Regeneration or whatever the attack name is on the Mewtwo V Union. So the Drapion in here not only makes the Mew matchup a lot better, but it also gives us a way to one-hit KO Mewtwo V Union. So a great add in the deck, I think, right now. So I cut the Escape Rope from Joel's list for the Drapion. Of course, we got the 4/4 Flappy, which is going to accelerate our energy. The other attackers we have in here is we have the Regieleki with the Terra Spark, which is a great neutral attacker into pretty much every single matchup. When we're like, well, I just kind of want to attack for the turn, but I don't need the extra damage of the Snorlax, or we don't need to abuse the paralysis of the Zekrom with the Wild Shock, then we're just kind of swinging with Regieleki most of the time. There's one of Raikou in here, which is a nice quick hitter for only 2 energy. Specifically up against the Lugia matchup, this can be really nice for like a turn 2 attack into like an active Lugia or something like that, because it doesn't only cost the lightning and the colors, because sometimes on turn 2 we can struggle to get that full 3 energy on an attacker like the Snorlax, the Leki, or the Zekrom. And then we do have the Zekrom in here with the Wild Shock, 130 damage, 60 damage to itself, but then we paralyze our opponent's active Pokemon. And then the only other Pokemon to really talk about here, Greninja, of course, to get lightning energy in the discard pile, the Manaphy to protect our bench. Medicham is in here with the Yoga Loop, which can be really, really cool to line up with our Zekrom's Wild Shock. We can do Wild Shock for 300 or 130 damage, which becomes 260 damage up against a Lugia V-Star. And then on the next turn, we can Yoga Loop the Lugia and then attack again with something else after that. So really cool play we can kind of line up with the Medicham. I've also used it in a couple other matchups and other situations as well. Just some pretty cool potential with the Medicham in general, to be honest. And then one of Zapdos in here boosts the damage of our Zekrom and our Leki, so it can turn the Leki's 240 damage up against the Lugia into 260, which means we can then Yoga Loop afterwards with the Medicham, or it can turn Zekrom's 130 to 280 against the Lugia for a one-hit KO. So those are the big numbers that Zapdos works with really well, is up against the Lugia matchup. Besides that, it's actually a solid attacker into Lost Box with the Electric Ball, besides Snorlax. The problem with Snorlax, though, is Snorlax goes to sleep, which means if we don't have a way to reset it with a Scoop Up Net, it could get stuck. Regieleki discards its own energy when it attacks, so it means if our opponent focuses down our Flaffies with Sableye, then it's going to be hard for us to set up another attacker on the next turn, and Zekrom damages itself up against Lost Box as well. So I've actually found the Zapdos to be like the best attacker into the Lost Box matchup when they're attacking with Crams and Sableyes. The Electric Ball's response to that is pretty good. If they attack with a Snorlax, our best response is our own Snorlax. And at some point, we can actually get out like double Snorlax, and that becomes a pretty good setup to have against Lost Box. But yeah, like I said, the Lost Box matchup is tough. The rest of it, consistency and draw support is not too much to talk about there. Let's go ahead and get into some gameplay. I had a pretty crazy game up against a Durant deck that I'm going to show you guys. And if you want to catch some more gameplay from me with this deck up against a bunch of different meta decks, Mews, Lost Boxes, I think I played against a Reggie as well. Go check out the secondary YouTube channel, AzulGG too. I've got a video up over there with a bunch of games in it, a bunch of gameplay on it. Check out the secondary YouTube channel. I post pretty much daily like I do over here. And let's go ahead and let's get into it. All right, here we go. We did lose the coin flip, but that is just fine. Not a huge deal. Ooh, we did open the Medicham, though, so that's not fine. This is like, well, I don't know. Crobat's probably a worse starter, to be honest. It's a little bit more HP. But, yeah, opening the Medicham is not good. We're up against some kind of Yveltal deck here. So we have the Drapion. So we're going to take this one slow and steady and then hit him with the Drapion in the late game. Venusaur, though. Oh, no. I think this is Durant. Okay, that changes things. Drapion no longer the game plan. But also the Medicham becomes a little bit more viable of a option in this matchup, actually. This is going to make things interesting. I still kind of want to research off the rip here because we do need to set up initially to actually be able to play the game. So I think I'm still going to research here because we do need a setup. We can't just sit here for forever, play the Marnie, and then hope that things kind of come to us. So I'm still comfortable with using the research there. Our best attacker has to be the Raikou, to be honest. I can't imagine a better attacker than the Raikou. Swings, big damage. Well, I would like to attack with Regieleki, but the problem with Regieleki is it discards all of its energy. So if we get 2 Lekis set up with air balloons and can retreat between them, that would be great. I don't think that is a likely goal here, though, like a thing that's likely to happen. So I think we have to go with like this. And unfortunately, we're going to need an air balloon to move this Medicham. Okay. Pass. All right, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Did have to research there, which we didn't want to do. We don't have a Marnie in the hand either. And there's only 2 Marnie in this list, I believe. So we do want a Marnie for the end game against Durant. But yeah, I think we're going to go with the Raikou here. Or try and go with the Raikou here. We need to find an air balloon. Also, Yveltal is a little bit of a nuisance as well, because Yveltal can remove our energy with that Cry of Destruction. We'll see if they're able to find themselves an energy and a way to move, though. Maybe they'll get stuck for a turn here. And, okay, they're stuck for a turn. All right, can we find an air balloon is the question. Flaaffy is cool. Not an air balloon. An attach. Still not an air balloon. Okay. I want to set up like the double Lecky play eventually. I do need more sheep, but is it going to be too late for the double Lecky play by the time I want to do it at this point? 2 air balloon in the deck. No other way to. I have Crobat. Maybe I should go Crobat here. I think I should. I think I need to try and take a knockout this turn. We can't just chill for forever. We have 3 2-prize Pokemon in play. That is so disgusting. That is so gross. We're gonna go for it though. We get aggressive here. I might regret this, to be honest. We'll see. I'm not gonna burn any more cards out of the deck. Just Ultra Ball those, and then just kind of leave it, I guess. Boom. Go out for 6. Hope for an air balloon. No air balloon. Okay. It's getting worse. It's getting worse, that's for sure. So I want to do the Lucky Strat. The Lucky Strat's just off the... Well, it's not off the table for sure. Yeah, it's definitely not off the table for sure. It's just not looking great for it. Okay. I can go... Quick Ball... Whale Lightning, fail, do both. I think I'm just gonna get milled out at this point. Like, I'm playing all these cards, and at the end of it all, I think we're just gonna get milled by the Durant because I can't find a way. Because we opened the Medicham. The Medicham is absolutely disgusting. Okay, can we find ourselves an air balloon? The answer is yes. Okay, I'm feeling like there's a chance here. Go ahead and Dynamotor to the Raikou because they do play the Yveltal, so they could get rid of both my special energy. Don't want that. And Lightning Rondo, knockout. We're just gonna Rondo every turn from here on out. They do play the Yellhorn, so I will have to. Oh, so I will have to go into Lucky at some point actually, because they do play Yellhorn. That is true. Okay. So we'll go Lucky attack, but getting the Lucky out of the active is the hard part. That's the problem. Is getting Lucky out of the active is not easy. So we need the second air balloon to put onto the Lucky. Otherwise, we're just kind of screwed. That's why like a theoretical optimal board state would just be 2 Luckys with air balloons, and you just kind of retreat in between them and attacking, and then you build up damage in play on some ants, and then the Yoga Loop comes in at some point to get us an extra turn in the prize race. So theoretically, this matchup seems pretty good, to be honest, if we're able to set up that board state. Even just attacking with a Zekrom. Well, actually, attacking with Raikou's fine, but maybe I should have set up Zekrom on the bench, so I could have gone Raikou Zekrom. That might have been... I might be trolled by not doing that, to be honest. I think I've maybe trolled by not going Raikou Zekrom. Instead, I went this stupid Lecky, and I've set myself up in a pretty poor spot, to be honest. I didn't mill 4. I only have 22 cards left in my deck. I should be pretty easily able to find the energy from here on out. Yeah, this is not good. All right, 4. Going for a miracle, though. Evolve to the Flaff. Attach return to the Lecky. Lightning Rondo. Another prize card down to 4. If we do get the other card that we could run into is our other Marnie. Unless they haven't already discarded it. No, so if we get our other Marnie, that's a way to like shuffle all these cards in the hand back into the deck and possibly give us like +1 turn. So that is like a way to possibly give us +1 turn. We'll see. And that might be enough to win the game. Quick ball. Goodbye Horn. Go find themselves probably a pivot so they can start using the Yell Horn. I guess it's like another thing they haven't been able to use the pivot yet. They don't have... Oh, they haven't been able to use Yell Horn yet because they don't have the pivot. They could risk it, though. They might have net in hand as well. So they might be able to net reset this Durant. No, they're just kind of going for it. All right, a little bit risky. Hopefully they get punished for this. We're hoping they get punished. There goes the Puke. Let's see if it's good enough. There's the attach. They're going to go for the flip. Tails, love to see the punish. Okay, that's a little bit more back to us to work with. So the deck plays like 1 scoop up net. I could like boss up the... how do I want to tackle this here? Fleet-footed for 1. Hopefully be a switch card. Nope. I have to attack through the confusion now. I feel like I have to attack through the confusion now. This sucks. This sucks. Could go for the boss on the Venusaur. And if they can't... They definitely have a peony in the hand. Though that's like the thing. They definitely have peony in the hand. But Kamen Durant seems like a lot less valuable than the Venusaur anyways. And they could have prized their scoop up net. So we're going to go ahead and bring up the Venusaur here and see what happens. Rondo. Hey, okay, we got the KO as well. This takes away their draw power from here on out, like moving forward. So I'll have way less draw power to work with. Love to see that. I am still going to run into a weird spot where I can't move my Lecky after I attack with it. Unless I get my air balloon. We have 1 air balloon in the deck, but they're about to mill 4 cards here. And if they hit my air balloon, well, then I won't have it anymore. So we're going to need to like attack with Lecky. Actually, this matchup just kind of seems fine, to be honest. If we're able to set up like a little bit cleaner. I had to burn like so many cards to set up here. This is insane. But if we're able to set up like a little bit cleaner, I actually think that like puts us in a pretty good spot overall. We can actually hit the cast form for 40. We can't quite yoga loop it, but we're so close. Here comes the Devour. My air balloon is still live. Drew to a scoop up net. That's also pretty good still. They've not milled any basic energy, which has been annoying, to be honest. We go attach. Treat. Paraspark. We're gonna hit these 2 here. If we get an energy, we could actually reset and Terraspark again for our last 2 prize cards on the cast form. So we got the net. The net is not an energy, though. If we top deck energy, the possibility we actually just win next turn. We have double nets now, too. We might actually be able to close this out, actually. I was, like, pretty sure we were going to lose. I'm getting more confident by the second, though. Duke away. That's fine. Let's see what they come up with here. But I'm feeling pretty good. Clara, Ant Venusaur, of course, but of course. Of course. Mill 4 more. Mill 4 more on the following turn as well. Retreat. How many energy are in here? 4, 5, 6. So I have 4 energy left currently in the deck with a 10-card deck. That means I have pretty good odds of top decking energy if they don't mill too many here on the Devour. Oh, that's no energy hits. So we have a pretty good shot of top decking energy here. There it is. Let's go. What an insane comeback in this one. I thought we were done for sure. We kept it cool, calm, collected, and get that dub. Crazy win here for sure. Holy moly. Boom, boom. Goodbye, ants. Goodbye, Castform. Get the dub. Yeah, I thought we were going to lose this one for sure. I was 100% checked out. I was like, there's no way we win this. Not possible. Cool, calm, and collected. And the Regieleki, like I mentioned, seems like it's maybe the key to this matchup. We got to attack with it a lot to make it work. If we can do that, obviously at least do a dub. And that's gonna do it for this video. If you guys want to check more gameplay out from me with the Flappy box, check out the secondary YouTube channel AzulGG 2. I'll catch y'all in the next video.